Welcome to another video, and welcome to the video that's going to cover the Colombian Civil War. As you can see, it is not going well for Colombia. They are having quite the troubles. So, let's get straight into it. I don't have much time, so I'm gonna go in this quite fast. Quickly, the rebels will take control of two areas, and also a third, cutting off major a lot of troops. And over here we see them bulging out and taking a small amount of forces from the Colombian military captured over here, but they also push and take a large area over here. They make a larger encirclement, and when trying to expand over here, they are almost successful in making another encirclement, but they can go on with that, so they focus their forces over here where they are seeing the most success. They managed to cut off a lot of troops and make them all surrender. And over here we see some struggling happening as the Colombian army is pushing back over here hard and very decisively. Over in the north we see the red team push in and take over two encirclement areas, while also sending out even more forces to make spearheads. One is to connect up two encirclements, which actually concludes in both encirclements actually happening, and the other two will start to double back. One will go towards the west, the other will go towards north, and these will be quite exposed fronts. Over here we see this front line this little pocket get destroyed. We see Colombian forces being pushed back over here, which will not be quite good for them, as forces immediately punch through, making a crow encirclement movement, and they will be fully encircled in this pocket. Now, with no forces except for a few dozen that are in the general area, the Reds are able to push that far, and at this point the Reds see that a full-on encirclement could happen, so they're gonna pull back forces. Same over here and in other areas as well. They don't want to lose too many troops. Unfortunately, they aren't able to save these two up here, but they are able to regain some foothold over here as the Reds were beginning to squeeze the Blues into a smaller and smaller area. So yeah, that's what happens. Over here we see the Blues actually managing to push and take back these areas, also in the process losing these as they're focusing on smaller parts of the fronts, but they are eventually forced out of this area entirely. Now the yellow team has gained water access, so it's going to push towards the north to make a large encirclement, on land encirclement. If it was on water and on land and in air, it wouldn't be a full encirclement. We also see major pushbacks not working for the Colombians. Instead, they are exploited against the Colombians, and they lose a lot of manpower and equipment, making them quite mad at their own military and their own people. We will also see this area finally be concluded that the yellows are going to try and push in, but they actually risked too much and got pushed back by the Blues. The yellows managed to stabilize this part of the front. They managed to pull back their troops, but over here, after doing that, they tried to go up here, but then they got news that this was already destroyed, so no point. So yeah, as you can see, this is the actually month 4 of the conflict. As you can see, Colombia is having troubles. They are fighting on 2 fronts. They have basically no water access and are about to lose all of it. So we will see the yellows push quite far and also push even more north, but they're gonna focus on the areas that the reds are going. As you can see, the blues have just lost their water access, if you exclude this part, which is slowly being pushed into and being taken by the yellows. The yellows are making good progress until they get the news that the reds have made a major breakthrough and are spearheading towards the lines. This is spelling the end of Colombia as one unified state. This is spelling the end for a whole nation. We will see the Colombians try and defend these areas, but as the spearhead has now bulged out in its head part, it is pushing along many areas. As you can see, the reds are cutting off and pushing into lands that the yellows haven't yet taken. The yellows will see this and immediately make their own push, which will cripple the blues, but before they can fully cripple them, they are pushed back. The yellows managed to make a smaller breakthrough, and they decide to bulge it out early and not late, which actually works out for them as they are able to take out more land and then bulge out again, making this weird exclave of, well, this area. But we eventually see the Colombians decide to surrender, and we're gonna see the Colombian Civil War of how the new borders will look like. These borders will conclude the first Colombian Civil War. There will be 2 more, just a spoiler. But basically, the reason the Colombian Civil War happened was because, well, as you can see, at first the reds didn't have much land and the yellows had much more, but, well, it was gradual. Now, the south decides to take as much land as it can get. As you can see, they're not the best at making their borders. They actually make them very wonky. But the reds managed to ask for a bit more than they actually did have. This was the first border agreement, and then they were moving on to the second, which had better borders but had more concessions. Both sides didn't like this. So the final one would be something like this. Now, as you can see, this little pocket is here that would be fixed, and it would look eventually something like this. Now, the yellows requested that they gain these areas from their spoils. The Colombians did ask for this area, which was granted. But a separatist group in the Colombians decided to separate from them and make their own nation, called the Colombia? Yeah, the state of Colombia. And then there was also the second state over here that also wanted independence and decided to also gain its own independence. But it would end eventually, with some persistence and dedication from the Venezuelans, be annexed into Venezuela. Well, the Republic of Venezuela. And now we see that these are the Colombian borders. As you can see, Colombia has been made into 2. The objective of these republics is to take back the lands. Currently, we see that the USA is looking at this area. They want it, they want the land, but they cannot get it, as we see that the second strongest state in this world currently, literally known as, or just known as, well, not just known as, but known as Australia, is guaranteeing them. The first strongest, India, is currently also guaranteeing them, as well as a lot of other states. This concludes the Columbian Civil War. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time, and please don't forget to hit that like button, hit the bell button, and see you guys soon. Mapster out.